Right now, Bitcoin has put in new all-time highs over this weekend, and we need to be talking about this fifth and final wave for Bitcoin. What's going to be happening in that longer time frame? What price targets can we be looking at right now? You can see that I have a lot of charts and I have a lot of data points prepared for Bitcoin. We're also going to be looking at Ethereum. I have a lot of charts prepared for Ethereum also for that longer time frame and for that shorter term, since we're having some interesting patterns actually lining up. With that being said, let's not waste any time. Let's get straight away into this banger. Bow. So looking at that shorter time frame for Bitcoin, we can see right now that we've been exactly bouncing from this level of support right here. We've actually highlighted this on the channel when everyone was getting bearish. We said that this was going to be the bottom for Bitcoin, and as long as we can hold above this level, it was more likely we can move towards the upside, and that's exactly what's happened so far. And if we look closely, we can see that Bitcoin's put in a new all-time high right now, so that's actually looking amazing, and it's looking very, very bullish. So we can see that this triple bottom formation pattern to the downside has been playing out exactly like predicted also, and we've actually entered October in the same fashion that we've actually predicted. Things are looking bullish, and you can see on this chart, every time we have October starting the past 3 years, it's been bullish, and right now we've actually been moving towards the upside, and we've been repeating history exactly like we've been talking about on the channel. So that's looking extremely good. So right now we're putting in that fifth and final wave, and I think it's going to be towards the upside, of course, and we're going to be having higher price action for Bitcoin since we're holding above our support levels. You know, we're putting in a similar formation as we did in 2024, and of course we have October starting, which is typically a very bullish month for Bitcoin. We can also see right now that on the weekly time frames, we are entering the 40th week, which is also very positive, and we have a lot of positive weeks ahead of us. So it's likely that Bitcoin continues towards the upside and we continue to put in new all-time highs. But right now in the shorter time frame, we're entering some resistance levels so far. So we've actually hit our range highs, just like we said. Once we reclaimed this 112k level, we said that it was likely we move towards the range highs, and that's exactly what's been happening. So congratulations if you've been following the channel, since you have been alerted at the bottoms that this was going to be likely to be happening for Bitcoin. I was remaining bullish whilst a lot of people were bearish. So congratulations if you actually was able to capitalize off of the information. But yeah, you can see right now that we're actually hitting our range highs. So it's actually likely that we can actually maybe consolidate here for a bit longer, since we're still in a weekend and a new week starts tomorrow. So this is a major level to be watching, since maybe we can get a little bit of a retracement to our mid-range before continuing towards the upside. But again, the way we've actually come in towards this level suggests that we can actually continue towards the upside if we can actually reclaim 124k and hold above here for a little bit longer. Then it's likely that Bitcoin continues its rally towards the upside and we don't see any major pullbacks. Now, a lot of people have been talking about this CME gap towards the downside around 110k. And I told you guys that it's likely that Bitcoin continues towards the upside, since we've seen a lot of strength from Bitcoin, and it was likely we're not going to fill the CME gap straight away. And I gave some examples on the Bitcoin price action, and I told you guys if you're going towards the daily time frame, we can look in towards this CME gap over here in 2024, where we did not fill it until February of 2025. So it's likely that right now that CME gap that we're created in the bottom side is likely not going to get filled. So just as mentioned, I think that this CME gap is not going to be filled straight away. It's likely we can continue towards the upside, and at the later date we may actually fill that CME gap towards the bottom side, maybe when we actually enter a bear market. But right now it's looking like the CME gap is going to be left unfilled, just like the one we have over here at 92k. And yeah, it is likely that Bitcoin is going to fill these CME gaps later. But as we're entering, you know, a bullish phase right now, and the strength is actually extremely present, it's likely that Bitcoin continues towards the upside. So right now we've entered one of the most bullish quarters for Bitcoin, which is Q4, and this is why I continue to preach that Bitcoin is going to be moving towards the upside aggressively, and we need to be, you know, staying on our toes here, and we need to be continuing to expect Bitcoin to outperform. And one major reason for this on the longer time frames is the fact that Bitcoin was lagging gold, and we can see right now that Bitcoin is starting a catch-up phase every time Bitcoin lags. So you can see over here from August in towards October, actually Bitcoin was lagging in 2024, which is extremely similar to right now. And later on into Q4 we actually caught up towards the upside, and this is exactly what I'm expecting for Bitcoin. We've seen gold actually hit new all-time highs, and Bitcoin is only starting to hit all-time highs right now. So it's likely that, you know, we're in this phase for gold right now. Bitcoin is slightly lagging the choppy phase, and we're slowly exiting that phase right now, and we're going to be seeing higher moves for the Bitcoin price. But I do expect this to be one of the final waves for Bitcoin, and the reason for that is the fact that we are actually hitting a timing cycle top for the Bitcoin price. So you can see right now that the dotted vertical orange lines on the screen are the Bitcoin halvings, like you can see over here, and these lines are actually calculated about 500 days in advance, and that's where you typically get your tops. So you can see it marked your top in 2013, in 2017, and in 2021, and right now it's likely it's going to be actually calculating the top quite accurately. So the last wave is going to be now. We're going to be seeing a last push from Bitcoin before we actually start to top out, because the timing suggests that this is the season, this is the area that Bitcoin actually tends to top. So right now I'm going to be expecting a top within the next 3 to 6 weeks right now, since the timing cycle suggests we have 3 weeks left. But if we are slightly delayed this cycle, you can expect within the next 6 weeks Bitcoin is potentially going to be finding the top. So I do expect this final wave to be the last one and to be the most parabolic one. So right now, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to check that first link down below for WEEX. WEEX is a massive exchange that's offering you guys a 25% discount on your trading fees, and of course a free $100 as soon as you sign up, ban your phone and your email. So make sure to be checking this out. On top of that, you're going to be getting a 20% deposit bonus on whatever you actually deposit onto the exchange. So you can see right now that these are the rewards that you can get up to grab, and it goes up to $30,000 right there in total rewards. So make sure to be checking this out. That's the first link down below for WEEX if you want to be claiming this deposit bonuses, and if you want to be getting that juicy 20% on whatever you actually deposit on the exchange to trade. Looking at the Bitcoin dominance, you can see that we've exactly called the top on the channel as well, and we're actually moving towards the downside. But right now we're actually hitting this horizontal level of support, and Bitcoin is hitting new all-time highs. So it is likely you can see a little bit of an uptick in the dominance before we continue to move towards the downside. And if the dominance continues to move towards the downside, we're going to be seeing altcoins actually move parabolic, and you can see that Ethereum is going to be moving massively parabolic also, if that's going to be the case. Right now we're actually hitting this massive level of support, and we're actually bouncing towards the upside exactly like predicted on the channel. So right now you can see this horizontal support level is supporting Ethereum in this pattern right now, and right now we have a target in and around that $6,000 mark, and this is looking extremely good for Ethereum. So another pattern that we're actually forming for Ethereum is this bull flag, and we have a target at 6,800 for Ethereum, which is just a little bit higher than this price target right now, but it's in the same range. So that's actually looking quite good for Ethereum too, and you can see that this has played out perfectly, the liquidity grab towards the downside, like we've actually covered on the channel. We had the first one in June, and then we had the second one late July, and right now we actually confirmed this one in the September trap that we talked about on the channel. We actually came down and we actually grabbed the liquidity and we reclaimed the range. So right now I'm expecting higher prices for Ethereum. I'm expecting it to go towards the upside, and that's exactly why I've actually opened an Ethereum trade today on WEEX right now. So you can see right now I'm in my Ethereum trade. At the bottom there, it's a 3x leverage trade right now, and I'm actually holding this trade towards the upside. I'm already in this previous trade that I took on the channel, and right now we're about 30% in profit. So this is looking quite good for Ethereum right now, since I think we're going to be moving towards that $6,000 region. So I'm already 30% up on this exchange, but on WEEX right now I've taken another Ethereum trade, since I'm actually expecting this bull flag to actually be playing out and for us to actually be moving towards the upside very shortly. You know, we can come down a little bit lower, and this is where I'll actually look to add to my trade if we actually come in towards our support level towards the downside of this box. So if we come to 4,300, I think that would be a beautiful region to be adding to Ethereum. So I've actually opened a small position on WEEX right now. So this position is just under $1,000, and I'm going to be adding a bit more later if we actually come in towards the region of 4,300. And if not, I'm just going to be holding this 2 positions for Ethereum right now, since I'm expecting a lot of moves towards the upside. So for that longer term, you can see right now that we're actually creating a V-bottom scenario, and you can see right there that it's going to be massively bullish for Ethereum once we actually exit this consolidation region, since we've actually retested a V-bottom neckline, and we're going to be moving towards the upside very shortly. So again, on a monthly time frame, we can see the MACD is actually printed a third bullish histogram since October is actually opened massively bullish. And again, I actually signaled at the start, so in August, that since we had the first green histogram tick, the strength in Ethereum is just going to be continuing towards the upside. Just like we saw previously, you can see right there that this was a massive region where Ethereum started to move parabolic. And again, previously, we had a massive move towards the upside when the histogram was bullish. So right now the MACD is bullish, so I'm going to be, having that bias for Ethereum. And yeah, again, I am trading on WEEX, since you can be getting cheap trading fees, and of course you can be claiming that deposit bonus over there. So if you want to be trading yourself and you want to be taking the same position as me, make sure to be signing up for WEEX, which is the first link down below. And whatever you deposit, you're going to be getting 20% on top, and you could be using that to be trading for WEEX. So make sure to be checking this out, make sure to be taking your trade, and then you're going to be receiving your bonus shortly after. So yeah, that'll be it for me. Make sure to follow me on X to be staying up to date with all my updates, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a blessed rest of your day. Peace, guys. See ya. Bye bye.